The first 3 videos I created in this series proved to be pretty well received, so in turn, welcome to the 4th installment. You're listening to Phil of Filbee Gaming, and today I have yet another 15 secrets that some players are yet to discover. Today's video will contain hidden clothing and weapons, secret scenes and locations, real-world references, undiscovered NPCs, and just things I think some players are yet to have found. You may know some of them, you may know all of them, or all of this may be new to you. After you watch today's video, if you feel there are any hidden things you found that you believe a lot of other players may have missed, feel free to let us know in the comment section below. As with the others, each part will be separated into its own chapter, so if you're watching one you're already aware of, you have the option to skip to the next. Of course, if you enjoy what you see, please hit like, subscribe, and share with friends and family or anyone you may feel would enjoy content such as this. And please be aware, there will be potential spoilers ahead for the game. With that being said, let's get into what we came here to see. 15 secrets still unseen by some players, Part 4. To start things off, I want to take us over to the mountainside in the region of Grizzly's East. Now this one is a little tricky to get to and can be hazardous, so before attempting this, make sure you're stocked up on health items just to be sure. There are a couple of different ways to access this location. The path I chose was to head down the centre of the 2 mountain peaks. As you descend, you will notice that some of the rocks begin to form into steps, making it a little easier to navigate. Be aware that in between these steps are sometimes gaps that you will need to leap across, so tread carefully. Eventually, you'll find yourself at the location I've marked. It's here you can find the remainder of a camp, formerly used by a rock climber. Left behind is their gear, including roping and their backpack. Towards the rear, next to the bed, is a lockbox containing some goodies, yours to keep. For number 2, we need to head to the southern town of Rhodes. Walking around this area is a lady attired in white. For those who choose to both hogtie and loot this NPC, you will discover a letter upon their person. As per usual, I'll leave it on screen for a moment for anyone wishing to pause and read. To summarise, the letter addressed to the lady is from a publishing company called Scruffers & Co. The lady is an aspiring writer who sent the company a manuscript for a book titled The Education of a Young Witch. Unfortunately, the publishers didn't seem too interested in her idea, even suggesting different topics that she may cover. This is of course a reference to the real-life British author J.K. Rowling, whose manuscript for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was submitted to 12 separate publishers, all of whom rejected the idea. It was eventually accepted and published, leading to Rowling becoming one of the world's most renowned authors. Number 3 brings us a second real-world reference. In the region of Amberino, by the Bacchus Bridge, just south of the waterfall, players can come across a deceased NPC. The NPC, who seems to have fallen to their death after attempting a battle ride from said waterfall, is a nod to a real-life stunt. In October of 1901, a 63-year-old school teacher named Annie Edson Taylor became the first person to successfully plunge off Niagara Falls in a battle. Fortunately, Mrs. Taylor survived. Number 4. Just south of Braithwaite Manor, hidden deep in the woods, players can come across an abandoned home named Old Harry Fenn. Choosing to explore the property will reveal its dark secrets. Upon the table is a newspaper scrap dating back to 1859. It states a $200 reward for the capture and return of a slave named Curtis Royal, who escaped his captor, Joseph Charlesworth, and was now on the run. Continuing to explore the home, players can discover a hidden photograph of a family which is hidden beneath the floorboards. Furthermore, if you head to the east of Old Harry Fen, upon the shorelines, you can find the remains of another escaped victim. Searching his corpse will reveal a letter, which I'll leave on screen for a moment for those wishing to read. To quickly recap, the letter was written by a man named Elijah, who himself was a slave, once owned by the Pennington family and had escaped, only to be recaptured and brought to Old Harry Fen. Just like Curtis Royal, Elijah had broken free of his shackles and fled. He was attempting to join his uncle Lewis and cousin Samuel in the northern country of Canada. We know of Elijah's fate, but what happened to Curtis Royal? Nobody seems to know. For number 5, we need to go west of the town of Van Horn. At this location, there's a strange formation of grassy knolls and rocks that from ground level don't seem to display too much. But if you climb up near the tower, you can see the art in its entirety. The player will note this down as the SERPENT MOUND in their journal. Number 6 takes us back up the mountains of Grizzlies East, right near where we previously discovered the rock climbing camp. Starting from our former location, if you travel across the large steps to the left, whilst being careful not to fall, after a short journey, you will arrive at the location I've marked upon the map. It's here that you can find a bird's nest, and inside are 2 separate special gems, the fluorite and the ammolite. Unfortunately, you can't do anything much with these items. Your only choices are to keep them or to sell them at a fence, which will only net you a measly $25 each. This is a nice collectible that I think a lot of players will have missed, primarily due to its location being difficult to access. In at number 7, there's a hidden item of clothing in the cornfields just west of Gallagher Hall. At the location I've marked on the map, players will come across a creepy looking scarecrow. Upon the scarecrow is some peculiar looking headwear. Some players may have discovered this, but at first glance, the hat seems unobtainable. If you shoot at the item, it will separate itself from its host and fall to the ground. This makes it available to pick up and wear it at your leisure. Please be aware that the Scarecrow sombrero isn't deemed as a special item and can be lost permanently. Number 8. In the first video I made in the series, I showed you an NPC interaction where people were peering through the window of the home of Big Hank. But did you know that this isn't the only interaction of its kind? Once again, in the town of Valentine, during nightfall, the player can come across yet another 2 gentlemen taking a peek into someone's home. This time, if Arthur investigates what they're looking at, he will witness the following scene.
Well, let's see.
I am gloriously fuddled now.
I feel so light and heavy at the same time.
Have I told you what an amazing woman you are?
Oh,
But
stop.
you are. Let us be free and wild and bad, my dear. Let us make love like love has never been made before. Let me take you to the clouds.
Well, that was pathetic for all of us.
Number 9 today. Players who take the time to read the in-game newspapers may have come across an article in the New Hanover Gazette, issue 34. It goes on to explain about an athletics team from the town of Blackwater who have gone missing. Those who choose to explore the region of tall trees can find the team, and unfortunately, they have met their fate in a terrible way. Still in their uniforms, the group have been slaughtered. Severed limbs on a rock indicate the letter B. Many speculate that this was the doing of the in-game serial killer Edmund Lowry, but no one knows for certain. Due to the location of the bodies, it seems more probable that this was the work of the Skinner brothers, who often roam the woods of tall trees. For number 10, we need to head back up north just off Spider Gorge. At the location I've pinpointed on the map, players can discover a piece of history. In the snowy mountains are the skeletal remains of a gigantic mammoth. Just like the sperm whale discovered south in Rio Bravo, this is another fossilized creature that is not part of the Deborah McGinnis side quest line, a test of faith. Number 11. The mammoth isn't the only unfortunate soul that has met its end in this area. While still at Spider Gorge, this time a little more south, players can find the remains of a herd of cattle who are laid to rest in the mountains. This is a reference to a real-life group of travellers known as the Donner Party, who were American pioneers who migrated from the Midwest to California. The group battled treacherous weathers and had become isolated within the snowy regions. Many of their cattle were slaughtered in order to provide food for the survivors. Number 12 takes us over to Guthrie Farm, not far from Emerald Ranch. It's on this land, towards the rear of the property, that players will uncover a truly bizarre love story. Inside one of the buildings rest two bodies, one man, one pig, and yes, we find them in a pretty unusual situation, which I will not be going into detail about. The pig, with a fancy pink ribbon around its neck, can be looted, granting the player with a golden wedding ring, indicating that the man was hoping to marry his favourite animal. Number 13 grants us with a very strange item of clothing. Most players will be aware of the peculiar community of Butcher's Creek, located in Roanoke Ridge. If you choose to explore the area, you can find, upon a post at the butcher's table, a wearable pig mask that you can don, should you choose to do so. Number 14. In the Heartlands, there is a plot of occupied land known as Larned Sod. Just outside of the area, at the location I've marked, is what we come to learn to be known as the Warped Tree. Closely inspecting this gives us a little insight as to its goings on. Due to the damage, it appears that the tree was struck by a bolt of lightning, almost splitting it in two, and a poor victim was apparently too close to it at the time, causing their immediate death. Maybe this was a family member of the nearby Larned Sod who had met their unfortunate demise. The unmarked grave gives us no indication. Our final one today, at number 15, is the Antler Knife. Just north of Little Creek River, in the Grizzlies West, lies the remains of a battle between man and beast. Judging by the condition of the hunter, the bear seemingly got the better of him, but not before he managed to pull out his knife and kill the animal with one final strike. This is a reference to the real-life American frontiersman Hugh Glass, who fought off a grizzly bear before later being left for dead by his companions. The tale of Hugh Glass is more recently told in the 2015 film The Revenant. Players can obtain the Antler Knife for keeping. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. This was the 4th installment of our secrets still unseen by some players. If you wish to see more like it, please hit like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with friends and family or anyone you may feel would be interested in this type of content. Are there any in-game secrets that you feel some players may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you wish to get in touch at all, you can do so by finding me over on Instagram. That's at Filbee Gaming. Thank you all for watching. You've been listening to Phil, and I'll see you in the next one.